Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft. Believe it or not, we have just 5 drafts left of Outlaws of Thunder Junction before we get to the best deck tournament to close out the format and Modern Horizons 3 set review season. That's right, Modern Horizons 3 will be on MTG Arena in just a few weeks here, and we're closing out OTJ hopefully strong. It's been an up and down format. Very in the middle of the up and down, just lots of here most of the time. We're going to try to close it out strong here with a pack 1, pick 1 Spinewoods Armadillo. 6 mana, 7/7 reach, ward 3, discard it to go find a land or desert, and gain 3 life. Pretty good here. We only opened 1 rare, and it's a bad one. So we're not taking that. How unlucky. But I don't mind starting my draft off with the Spinewoods Armadillo. That is a fine place to be. Now, to follow it up, unfortunately, there's not a lot of great options here. There's some good black cards. Binding Negotiation is fine, not great. Trained Arinx is a very good reason to get into green-white mounts. But is it worth taking here over something like Shoot the Sheriff, which, you know, black-green is a deck I want to make work in this format. We just drafted one a couple days ago, I think. Didn't go particularly well. And I have to absolutely sneeze right here. Ooh, thank you. I think I'm going to take Shoot the Sheriff over the Trained Arinx. And, you know, Vault Plunder, Skullduggery, both also good black cards here. And then a bunch of... This pack is actually relatively fine. I could regret not taking this Arinx, especially if green-white ends up being open. That's a great spot to be. But I also don't mind taking Shoot the Sheriff and going down a black and or green route here either. Alright, cards that stand out here. Explosive Derailment. Which one is this one? Well, so this reanimates the Spinewood Armadillo. Whenever a legendary creature you control dies, it deals damage equal to that power to target opponent. So, probably not. It's just 5 mana Reanimate. When there's literal Reanimate in this set. I have gotten turn 3 Spinewood Armadillo to buy Reanimate so far this set. If you haven't seen that one, you didn't miss much. There is a Jagged Barrens as just a good desert land. There's Unscrupulous Contractor, which... Maybe we could find ourselves into black-white this deck, or this draft here. I haven't drafted that at all even once. I think this card is pretty good. I'm going to take it here. I think it's got some good upside, and... Whoa! There are both of them. Kambal, Profiteering Mayor. 3 mana, 2/4. Whenever one or more tokens are created under their control, you get one. And then whenever one or more tokens are created under your control... They lose a life, you gain a life. And also, whenever one or more tokens are created under your control, make another token, and you can sack a creature artifact to draw a card. I really hope... I don't think this is going to wheel, but boy, if this wheels. I think we have to take Kambal. It's actually close as to which one's better here. I think Kambal's probably better than Baron Bertram, but we've got ourselves a reason to start drafting black-white here today, I think. That's a late Arinx. There's a Treasure Dredger, which creates a token every single turn, which drains. So it's tap, create a treasure, don't lose anything with combo on the battlefield. That's a pretty good combo. There's also Boneyard Desecrator, which could be kind of interesting in this kind of deck. Armadillo, whatever. I think Arinx could be the correct pick here, but I'm going for synergy with the Treasure Dredger. I think that could be interesting. And, I mean... If we're going to be sacrificing things, Nezumi Linkbreaker for the Unscrupulous Contractor is good, but so is Outlaw Medic. I don't think black-white is among the best decks in the format. I haven't played against a very good version of it before, and I've actually never drafted it. But that's not to say I'm not willing to give it a shot here today and see how it does. I think the Medic is a fine thing to sacrifice to the Contractor when this enters the battlefield. So turn 2 Medic, turn 3 sacrifice it to Contractor, draw 3 cards. Lose 2 life, but yeah. If we want a Link Breaker, I think we'll be able to get one at some point. So let's take that. What on earth is this card? 3 mana, 1/2 ward 2. Beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X, where X is the number of card types among whatever. Go away. I think I'll take Skullduggery over Surgical Extraction. That is strictly a sideboard card. There's Sterling Hound as well, but we'll take the Skullduggery here. I mean, Buzzard and Conviction go pretty well in this deck. Conviction works with Medic. It works with any of the tokens we could be creating. We're going to want to be finding ways to potentially make some of these cheaper tokens here. Some of the mercenary tokens. There's not a lot of great ways to do it in black, but there is a couple ways in white we could find. Last Wood by the Law would be a great one. We'll take the Bloodseeker. Really, only thing we could consider playing here. We're not locked into black-white by any means, but a lot of the cards we have really only go well in a black-white deck, like Dredger, Contractor. I'll take the Negotiation on the wheel. Conviction, things like that. A couple Link Breakers could be pretty good. Black seems very open. I mean, we could take another Skullduggery. We could also take a Raven. I guess I'll take the Raven over a second Skullduggery. I don't know how many of these I'd necessarily want to play. Tomb Trawler, I don't think that's it. That's a late Jailbreak Scheme. I do like that card, but... Alright, are we drafting black-white? It looks like the Baron Bertram didn't come back. I don't know how much I want to be fighting for black-white in the table. They could have spec'd on it and then not actually be speculated on it. And then not actually be drafting black-white, whoever took it. Which would be good news for us. I don't think it's one of the best decks in the format. And having to fight over it is not usually where you want to be. Fighting over a bad deck in the format is not a recipe for winning. But we did get a pick 3 Camball. I don't know how to say its name. Whatever. Alright, what can we find here? Well, we've had our pick of Trained Erringses today. Maybe we take this one. Kellen the Kid is pretty good, but probably not for today's draft. Grindstone I don't think is for today's draft either. There is a Buzzard that could wheel, as well as a Bloodseeker here. Maybe there's a chance we can go back into green-black with double Bloodseeker now to commit crimes and mill ourselves potentially for Armadillo, and if we find things that care about this. These are a lot of Trained Erringses that we're passing. Black-white probably wants to be relatively aggressive. But I think this has the potential to keep us a little bit more open and probably still be fine in whatever deck we do end up drafting. So I think I'm just going to take the Desperate Bloodseeker. I'm leaving myself outs to draft black-green here, if it does come our way. But now we get to pick 2 Ruthless Lawbringer, and I think we're pretty locked into black-white at this point. This is another great reason to draft black-white. So we'll take it here. Maybe we wheel a Mesa, an Assassin. Might not be horrible. I wouldn't actually mind picking up some Nezumi Link Breakers at this point, but we'll see. Fake Your Own Death, Soured Springs, Conduit Pylon, Sterling Keykeeper. Lazav on the splash I don't think is what we want to do. Fake Your Own Death could be interesting with things like Contractor. So you could plot this and then you can fake your own death, sacrifice something, and then it sacrifice that thing, and then it also returns to the battlefield, which is pretty good. I think I'll just go ahead and take that. I don't think I'm really going to miss a Sterling Keykeeper too much. Imp's Mischief. I have no idea if this card is good or bad. Change the target of a spell with a single target. It seems like a sideboard card. I don't have the courage to put this into my deck necessarily. I think I'll take a Vengeful Townsfolk here. We still have not found the ways to make mercenaries so far. Or make tokens, or make 1/1s and things. Gonna have to try to find access to those. So Sterling Supplier puts a counter on something. Stagecoach Security gives all your creatures pump, but I think we'll take Humiliate here. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card, they discard it. Put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. In the right deck, I think this is quite good, and the right deck is a black-white deck. It's just, this doesn't get played very often in the format because black-white isn't exactly where you want to be. I mean, I might consider one of these two cards. I don't think we need a second Conviction, especially with, like, just not really the cards we want to be sacrificing to draw two cards, really. We want things that have more death triggers here. Which is this one? This is the one that just kind of blinks things. Works with Bloodseekers and milling them, maybe. Contractor. I don't think I want a Gigapede. I don't really think I want a Wingsmith. I don't think I'm going to play another round either. So I'll just take the Gigapede, I guess. Okay, Medic is a card I think I'm willing to sacrifice to certain things. So that seems fine here. Take up the Shield would actually also probably be fine. We might wheel a Rooftop Assassin in this pack, but I'll take a second Medic here. Boneyard Desecrator. Or Bridled Bighorn. We've got double Patient Naturalist. Gosh. I mean, I could have taken the past one there, but I think with Kumbal, Ruthless Lawbringer, Humiliate, you know, Corrupted Conviction, I think going down black-white is just fine here. Outcaster still here. It's pretty good. I guess I'll just take the Grindstone and probably not play it. By probably not, I mean definitely not. See, we got both of these back anyway. I don't even know if I want them, though, over just a random tap land. I could splash something. I'm just going to take the tap land. I don't think I'm going to miss a Rooftop Assassin that much. Doesn't really synergize with the rest of our deck. I don't know when that... I'll take this, too. We can find a blue card we want to splash. I don't know when that Nezumi Linkbreaker was in pack 1. But if there was a chance that it wheeled, or that it could wheel and it didn't wheel, that's not great news for us. All right, what Lively Dirge combos do we have here? We've got Lawbringer, we've got Kumbal, we've got double Bloodseeker, which could mill 4 in a late game if it for some reason goes down to decking, which it probably won't. There's also just Murder and Vault Plunderer here. I haven't really played a lot of Lively Dirge. We've also got double Outlaw Medic we could get. I mean, I think this seems good. Hopefully we get Murder or Vault Plunderer back. That would be very nice. But I'm going to try out Lively Dirge. I'm trying a deck today that I really just haven't drafted very much at all. And by that, I mean ever in this format. All right, Oko. Today's not our day to draft you. I think this is the first time I've seen you in a pack. Can't take it here. There is an unfortunate accident, so we can't be too upset because this card is going to be very good in our deck. 5 mana, kill a creature, make a 1/1 that's sacrificable. Seems pretty good. Might even play Requisition Raid on the wheel. Wanted Griffin is actually a decent card we could play, but we're going to take the unfortunate accident here. Ooh, there's a good amount of goodies here. Bounding Felidar, 6 mana, 4/7. When it attacks while saddled, you get a counter on other creatures you control and gain a life for each of those creatures. 11 creatures. I don't know how creature heavy we are necessarily. There's also just Prairie Dog, which is a great 2-drop. Heartless Pillage, which is a good 3-drop here. A couple other things. I think I'm going to take Prairie Dog. When in doubt, take the 2-drop over the 6-drop. That's the motto I'm going to live by here. All right, if 1 Lively Dirge is good, does that mean 2 is good? Would I rather an Omenport Vigilante or a Take Up the Shield? I think I'm going to try a second Lively Dirge. I'm excited for this deck. I have no idea if it's going to be any good. My guess is no, but I'm excited to try it. We're much heavier on the black than we are on the white, but that's okay. We could play like a 10-7 mana base here or something like that. Or a 9-7. I might even play 16 lands here. I don't have a lot of mana sinks necessarily. And like everything is like a 2-drop. That's a 4. What do we got here? That is the tutor that's bad and limited. I'll take another Shoot the Sheriff. That is a nice little gift here. Ranges from incredibly back-breaking good removal to completely unplayable, depending on your opponent. If you're playing against green-white, it's great. If you're playing against black-red, it does effectively nothing. So, as strange as it is, I still would just love to see a Nezumi Linkbreaker and... yeah, Treasure Dredger number 2, that seems fine. There's also Ariet's Lullaby, Keykeeper, and Raven here. I'll take the Dredger. That works really well with Kambal here. And we'll go from there. Another Corrupted Conviction versus Bounding Felidar. I don't think I'm playing 2 Corrupted Convictions. I also don't think I'm playing a Bounding Felidar, so I'll just take that, I guess. Alright, Lively Dirge. I don't think I'm playing 3 of you, but I'm not taking anything else in that pack. And I don't think I need just a random tap lane when my curve is so low here. Got 13 creatures, not getting any more link breakers. Murder came back. I'll play a Murder. It's fine. So we're basically just sacrificing Outlaw Medics. Like, and maybe like a... okay, Heartless Pillage came back. Also Lava Spur Boots. Is that good? No, that's not. I don't think that's good in our deck. It's better in like bigger creature decks. I think I could take the Heartless Pillage. That's a card I think I could play. I mean, the deck does some things. I think only 1 Fake Your Own Death is probably fine. The Raven probably isn't doing much here. I don't think this is an overzealous muscle kind of deck either. But these Outlaw Medics are going to have to go very far in their sacrifice ability. So I'm going to go ahead and tune this up, build the deck, and I'll see you after deck building. So I'm not exactly sure if we got there with this deck, but I'm excited to try it out. We've got double medic. We do have a Raven with a lot of ways to commit crimes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 8, 9, 10 here, 11. I mean, there's plenty of ways to commit crimes with the Raven. That's also a card we could just sacrifice to things like Desecrator. Works fine with Fake Your Own Death against a flyer, to Corrupted Conviction, the Bloodseekers. The Desecrator, I think I'm keeping it. It doesn't sacrifice a lot of great things. The best thing is the Outlaw Medics, because it does make a treasure, which triggers Kambal here. The Medics are going to have to go a long way. I think the Lively Dirge is going to have to be getting these a lot of the time, because these are the cards we're going to want to be sacrificing and getting all of our value from. I decided to only play 1 Lively Dirge here. There's a chance I could play 2. Maybe if I'm impressed by the card by game 2 or 3, I could just go ahead and add the second one in for the second half of the draft. But it's a card I haven't played with, and I don't know if it's any good. So I'm willing to try out 1 here. I think it could be fun. And my first time drafting black-white in the format. Don't know how it'll do. We'll see you in game number 1. Alright, I think starting on the draw is going to make this deck a lot worse, but we'll obviously keep this here. We're not sending it back. Oh, there's the Outlaw Medic. Alright, Grixis Crimes. That means our Shoot the Sheriffs probably isn't going to be at its best here, as we top deck one of them. See if the Prairie Dog survives. I expect it not to. Fibblethip. Alright, it did survive. So they can plot the top card. I think I'd like to just hold up Fake Your Own Death and Shoot the Sheriff here. Next turn, because I also get a counter on the Prairie Dog, next turn I could just do these 2 things, or play one of them and still hold up Fake Your Own Death. I have not seen Fibblethip go off, but we're about to see if it has a chance here. Okay, plotted a Visage Bandit. Okay. Okay, they are going to cast the Robbery. Let's see. Chose to sack a land. Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, if they can't deal with this Prairie Dog, I could just keep holding up Fake Your Own Death. And if they eventually do deal with that, I just Fake Your Own Death on it and then just continue the train of passing with a big lifelinker here. I mean, this seems like a decent plan so far. Because I'm still holding up some removal in a way. I mean, it doesn't hit everything, but... Alright, in comes Fibblethip. Not anticipating blocking the Prairie Dog, it looks like. Okay, I am anticipating Prairie Dog to die this turn, but I can still do Fake Your Own Death and then also cast another spell here. So that is my plan. Oh, they don't have anything. Well... I guess in that, I mean, should I just start, like, casting my creatures? Especially now that I drew a Lively Dirge here? Let's just do this. Mill ourselves, the Lively Dirge gets a little bit better this way. Maybe they've got a counterspell or something, which, like, isn't the end of the world. None of our cards are any good. Okay, got a Townsfolk, that's a target. I guess a Raven, because we do have a few ways to commit crimes in the hand. And, go ahead. Daring Thunder Thief. Sure. That is a rogue, right? Yeah. So shoot the sheriff. Cannot kill it. Cannot kill that either. Visage Bandit as another 4/4. Does enter tapped, though. Sure. Alright, I can unfortunate accident their 4/4 here. I could also just Fake Your Own Death on whatever they decide to block. I'm sure it would be the Prairie Dog on the Thunder Thief here. The accident opens up really good attacks, though, because then they have to trade Mind Raider and Fibblethip for the Prairie Dog, while these two both get in. Okay, I'm sure they double block Prairie Dog here. That makes the most sense, but... They could chump. No, they'll just double block. Okay, that makes sense. Now this Raven is a bit of an issue. If we draw a land, we do have the combo of Fake Your Own... Oh, they've got Archive Trap. Do they have Slickshot Lockpicker? Okay, what's the best way to do this here? If they've got the Lockpicker, they can't Archive Trap us again next turn, unless they've got another one in hand. If they got another one, then GG, I guess. What does Lively Dirge do here now that we've milled a bunch of cards? Gets back Contractor, Prairie Dog. Let's do this, and then this. And hope they don't have a second archive trap, I guess. That's fine. We have 6 mana here. Shoot the Sheriff does not kill the Loan Shark. But I could finish them off with Unscrupulous Contractor. Target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. That is a way to make them die here. Alright. Lively Dirge. Return up to 2 creature cards. Auto pay. Get Unscrupulous Contractor. Sacrifice the Bloodseeker. You draw 2 and you lose 2. And that's a way to win. Very rarely is that the way you should use those kind of cards, but when it kills them, go for it. Alright, we go first here with pretty slow hand. If we could draw a Plains that makes Kambal playable on 3, we can murder something right off. I don't think it's very good, but if we can get up to 5 mana, we can reanimate a couple things. Don't need a swamp necessarily. Canyon Crab. Alright, well, I guess we'll just run this out here then. I mean, if it dies, it dies, but I do think... Okay, Vault Plunder, good. Now we could hold up Fake Your Own Death and Murder. Okay, not bad here. So whenever we make a token, we drain them. Whenever they make a token, we make a token. Don't know how many tokens they will be making, though. They can make this a 4/1? Sure. I guess I can just Fake Your Own Death after they do that. And my turn, and they use their whole turn to do that? Sure. Alright, let's attack here, and then Heartless Pillage, and then could still hold up Murder if we needed to. Okay, they got a Lively Dirge and an island. Okay, down goes... No, that is unfortunately one of the best ways to deal with it, because we do have Lively Dirge here. I mean, I could murder my own Kambal and then Lively Dirge it, but that doesn't seem great. So let's go to my turn. Desecrator is not bad. Yeah, let's get that going. And the turn, we'll sacrifice it here. Can dirge it back if we want to. Do we have any 1-drops in the deck? I don't think I've got any. Destroy target creature if no other creature has greater power. So it's gonna die no matter what. Would I rather put Kambal in the graveyard? Or would I rather murder the Vault Plunderer here? So that they don't draw an extra card? I also have Corrupted Conviction in this deck. I think I don't want them to get this extra card here. I can bring this back as well with the Lively Dirge, so they'll just kill this. That was one of the cards I kind of wanted to get, but I think I will. You also have Ruthless Lawbringer, so this still has value on the battlefield right now. Let's do this, and then also play Medic here. Leaving ourselves tapped out for a moment, but we have some threats, and some pretty good draws in the deck, too. Oh, they have their own Lively Dirge. What are they getting? They did choose to tutor here, so they could be getting some goods. Raven. And is that it? Raven and Crab, okay. Well, Shoot the Sheriff kills those. I don't know if I want to, though. Do I want to sacrifice this, or do I want to leave it on the battlefield for Corrupted Conviction, for Ruthless Lawbringer? I think I'm just going to let this happen, and then I think I'm going to sacrifice the Medic here. Draws a card, gets a treasure. Skullduggery isn't great. That dodges Shoot the Sheriff, unfortunately. That doesn't matter. Alright, well, let's get in there and I guess kill the Canyon Crab by sacrificing Kambal now. Gosh, the Shoot the Sheriff is not doing a whole lot here. I could just Shoot the Sheriff, the Canyon Crab, kill the Raven, because every card they cast off of my deck is going to be an Outlaw, which means the Shoot the Sheriff might just not do much for the rest of this game here. Alright, got a Raven back anyway. I suppose that's fine. I don't think I wanted to draw that. But, I mean, they're just gonna... Now they have two. This thing is a problem at some point here to their life total, so... No land. Land. Go ahead. Alright, yeah, double Raven, draw 3 cards off of my deck. Humiliate me, I suppose. Oh, alright, Jasper Flint's gonna get us here. Card's too good. I mean, I don't know what we could draw that would... I mean, I guess Ruthless Lawbringer, but it's probably too little too late at this point. We're at 6, they've got 2 Ravens here. They're probably committing a crime on my turn as well. This has a permanent counter. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna do it. Yeah, because now both of these are lethal here. I don't even care what these do, and I'll just concede. Alright, well, lost to Jasper Flint. Couldn't do a darn thing about it. Alright, we're at first with a pretty good hand here. If we could find a couple lands, we can really get off to a good start. Question is... how do we want to play this? I think I'll lead on Prairie Dog. It's the best card in our hand. And then I probably Humiliate next turn. Hard Bristle Bandit. And then the following turn I drop 2 creatures here. So let's see, they have 4 mana next turn if they want it. I guess I'll just take the Paladin. Now they do have protection and removal here, but I can't really do much about that. And I couldn't really deal with a 5/4 very well. Oh, they drew away to commit a crime, did they? See if it's a way to get rid of the Prairie Dog off the top of the deck. Clear Shot, maybe? Tumbleweeds. Okay, that is a way to commit a crime. Holding up, take up the shield now. Okay. I guess having the treasure dredgers on the battlefield are much better if we draw Kambal here. Bloodseeker can't really get through the take up the shield, so I'm just gonna play these 2. So now... oh, I see. They did that just so that this turn they can Betrayal at the vault and kill 2 creatures. That's okay. I mean, I still have the Prairie Dog. I'm just gonna get my creatures down here. I could, like, activate the Prairie Dog and make it a 5/5. But I don't really see a need to do that when I could just get my creatures down. Hopefully they don't draw something that blanks everything on my board here. And I didn't mill myself because I already have a couple of targets for Lively Dirge. So... alright, here's another way to commit a crime. Let's see if Prairie Dog is dead. Looks like it is. Alright, nice draws. Must feel pretty good. Alright, just gotta avoid lands from here on out. Here's the land. And looks like they didn't draw land. Looking in their graveyard. They drew Shepherd of the Clouds? I swear. Tumbleweed, make a 3/3. Alright. It's not great here. I mean, they can keep hitting me for 2. I don't really want to block it, because then they could start hitting me for 6, which obviously I don't want to happen. I mean, I could murder their Free Strider lookout, but, like, yeah, that might actually be more of a problem. Like, if they just don't cast a spell next turn, it gets a flying counter, which seems a bigger problem here. Now I can block, because I do still have 2 blocks on a 3/3 here. There we go. Alright, now I can get Prairie Dog and... I guess... Is there something in the deck I'd rather tutor for that is a 2-drop? I can get Outlaw Medic. Is that better than Bloodseeker here? Probably so. So, I think I'll just cast it for both. I could also get, like, something else, but those don't seem great. All the creatures are up here through Outlaw Medic. So let's just do this, get Prairie Dog and Outlaw Medic here, and then the Prairie Dog starts going off if we just stall and I keep drawing lands. Ruthless Lawbringer. Not horrible, but I think I could save that for something better. So let's just do this. Pass the turn. I think if they draw like a Spinewood's Armadillo or something, I can just rather use it on that. This is going to be a 5/5. Contractor is good. So let's do 1, 2, 3... I think I'm just going to cast it. Sacrifice the medic. I draw 3. I guess I can get rid of their Free Strider Commando now. And then hold up Conviction. Okay, alright. Things are turning around a little bit. There we go. Okay, seems fine to me. And end the turn. Make it a 6/6. See if they draw removal for it. No. shoot the sheriff. That gets rid of the varmint, which currently can't kill anything. But I don't think I need to. Okay, they go to 4. So that just happens on their upkeep, so I don't think I care too much about that. And there we go. That is lethal. All right. We got a little lucky that they didn't top deck their way out of that. We also... The Lively Dirge was quite good there. Maybe 2 of them is worth it, but I think 1 is still probably okay for now. All right, we're up first here with a fine hand, I think. Both colors of mana, couple 2-drops, hand disruption. Do we lead on hand disruption here? Yes. Okay. No red, 2 mythics, and 2 removal spells. This is going to be pretty good against our deck if we go wide, but this seems pretty busted. They're going to have removal, but the throw from the saddle doesn't do anything unless they draw more creatures here. What if I just played a 3/2 that didn't, like, do anything else? Oh, I could plot this too. I forgot this thing has plot. Let's just do that. Okay, still no plays. Let's just be mana efficient here. Play a 3/4. And pass. Don't think we need to cast the Contractor just yet. Alright, Contagion Engine getting close to being online here. Think I'll choose myself in the event that I hit. That would have been pretty good. Humiliate here. Alright, we're a turn away from Contagion Engine. Oh, never mind. Alright, do we go for Lively Dirge? They missed a land drop last turn. They don't seem to really have anything. Can bring back 2 creatures here. Let's do that. We can get, like... we can get back just 1. I messed up there. I forgot. Okay, I can get back 1 creature, so... Probably Camball. Although Vengeful Townsfolk is protection against Contagion Engine, but because it's gonna... These creatures are gonna die, which is gonna grow that before it dies, but... I think I'll do this. This is pretty good with the Treasure Dredger, too. As they are still 2 mana away from the engine, and it looks like they just got a little bit mana screwed. Which is fine, happens to the best of us. Well, look at this hand. Hello, Prairie Dog. If it survives and we can untap, we have protection for it. This card has been very good in the deck, gotta say. I didn't think it would be as good as it is, but just passing with a Prairie Dog has been a fine enough plan. Let's see if they kill it here. Green, white, probably not. Stable Master, okay. I think I need to shoot the Sheriff that right now so they can't use the mana next turn and play like a 4/4 Giant Beaver. Also means I can't protect this from removal, but usually white-green is fight-based removal, like throw from the saddle, or clear shot, or mystical tether, which Fake Your Own Death can't protect from anyway. There it is. That is what I thought. Although this does sacrifice or destroy a non-land permanent here, and we do have the combo next turn. We play Treasure Dredger. Next turn, we Fake Your Own Death, the Treasure Dredger, and then Lawbringer, and get back Mystical Tether. If we really care about this. We might not even care about this that much. Might rather just hold up Fake Your Own Death. Yeah, there's the stupid giant beaver. Don't think they block. I mean, I'm not sure why they would. But I am planning on Lawbringering away the Dredger to get back the beaver here. Or get back my beaver. Prairie dog looking thing. And then holding up Fake Your Own Death here. And if they just like tap out, I'm probably just going to Fake Your Own Death and kill their beaver and then just like get back my prairie dog. But if they don't tap out, then I'm not going to go for that. Now if they have throw from the saddle, I guess I Fake Your Own Death in response. That would not be a good card for them to have here. For me. Would be for them. Bridled Bighorn. Okay, I think I'll trade for the beaver now. This will be a 4-5 though. Which will be a problem. Alright, I don't think I'm blocking that, so let's just get in. Yeah, geez, that's a big creature. Okay, this has Menace, right? Yeah, but that has Vigilance, so... Still can't really even attack past it. So they have it hexproof, and when they attack, they get a counter. I guess I do that. They can only trade for one of them. It's probably going to be the prairie dog. I think I have to do that. Playing against green-white here. Where is our shoot the sheriffs? I used one already. On a stable master. Which feels bad now. That's 6-5. Come on. Why are all these big creatures just destroying me here? There's a little bit of combat mat that could work in our favor here, but probably not. This thing's just going to hit us for 6. That's going to hit us for 6. Seven, I forgot. Let's the best way to do this here? I don't even know. So if I just double block, I have to sacrifice the Lawbringer, and then these both become a 4/5 and a 4/4. That still dies. That dies. This becomes a 5/5. They still have a 7/6. I mean, none of it's great, but I have to bit by bit try to whittle down their board as much as I can while they continue to draw into likely more gas. I'm not blocking, so take 5, I guess. Do they also have throw from the saddle now to kill my only creature? No. Alright. They do have an instant, though. Mystical Tether. Close enough. Alright. I'm gonna chump the Locomotive now, gain a life, draw a card. I guess I need, like, Murder. Or the other Shoot the Sheriff here. That doesn't do it. That doesn't do it. So I have a 1-turn window now. Now basically a 0-turn window. Take 12? 13? I don't know what I could draw at this point. Let's do a land. That's what I thought. Alright. When it works out, it's fun. When it doesn't work out, you just, like, draw bad cards and just lose. Okay, we're at first here. With a hand that can play a 3-drop and do nothing else. Now, if we draw a swamp, it's great. We have 9 black sources in the deck here. I really don't like sending things like this, or sending hands back here, especially we're on the play. They've got... This is... I think this is a mulligan. But I'm going to keep it. Because I'm risky like that. We got a swamp on the top of our deck. Everything's fine. See? Told you, had a land. Plains was probably the worst draw we had there. Deadeye Duelist. There's the swamp. Alright, alright. We're not dead. Another swamp wouldn't be bad. We can go Treasure Dredger and Humiliate here. Let's see if Vengeful Townsfolk is in fact dead. It's not. They've got a Wolverine? Yeah. Alright, I think I've got to Humiliate here just to make sure I don't die to something stupid. Destroy all creatures with power greater than target creature's power. Gosh, that's going to be really good with a Deadeye Duelist on the battlefield. I can deal with the terror with a murder. Can I deal with Form a Posse? I don't know if I can deal with Fell the Mighty. That's going to wipe my whole board. I think I have to get rid of that. And then Murder the Stingerback Terror, and Form a Posse is just going to have to do its thing. I mean, I need another swamp for the Stingerback Terror and Murder, obviously, but I think this Fell the Mighty was just going to is just gonna kill me and everything I was doing. Oh, that was the top deck. Okay, so you drew a white source and a removal spell. Well, now I think we're dead. Perfect. My only threat. And they hit the land off the Wolverine like a champ. And had drew top deck the removal spell to kill my only creature. Must be nice. Here comes the terror. I need a second black. I think I have to like keep this back in the event I need the black, and I think I do. So what do I want to do? Unfortunate accident here for 5, murder for 3. I think I accident. That way the Lawbringer could kill something, sacrificing the mercenary. The form of Posse is going to be a problem, though. I mean, every card in their hand was a problem when I looked at it. Now it does it for 4. Still have to take 4 damage here. Let's see if they do in fact do form a Posse for 4. There it is. I think this one's about over, but I'll play it out here. Bloodseeker. Those are fine. Those probably wouldn't have been very good top decks here. What else is in hand now? Might have to kill this duelist, just so it doesn't kill me. Ah, alright. I risked it in the event that I didn't draw a swamp, but that's okay. Alright, so we'll Lawbringer. I think I gotta kill the duelist here. And then Dredger, and then murder something, maybe, possibly. Okay, we've stabilized a little bit, but it's still not looking great for us. Okay, we'll play that and then probably attack with Desecrator here, now that we have sack fodder. To make it a 4/5, in which case the Wolverine and Bloodseeker block wouldn't be great, but ooh. Probably didn't want to do it that way, but I'll take it. I guess they're trying to cheese out some sort of go wide win here. Got the murder for a bigger creature that could be a problem against our board. If they kill the Desecrator, that isn't great for us. Okay, they're gonna try to gain some life here. I'll trade this with the Treasure Dredger pretty happily. Could also just murder it, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I need to save this for something bigger and better. I see. Okay, well now... I mean, it doesn't deal any damage, though. So... Sure... Still think I need to pressure them at least a little bit here. What if I did this? This is... Can I just win? Wait, let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's just lethal. Because I have treasures here, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Murder this, commit the crime, sacrifice the raven, put a counter, win the game. Okay. That was an interesting lethal draw here. Well, I'm glad I saw it. I didn't quite realize that Raven of Fell Omens was the way to get out of that, but sure. Alright, going second with our mono black deck here. So we'll keep this one. Why am I drawing planes in my mono black deck? How do we do this now? I guess Raven? They had priority, chose not to do anything with it. Nimble Brigand is a rogue. Could kill that at some point. Let's go ahead and do this. Do they have a way to commit a crime next turn? Desert's Dew is their way. There's a lot of good cards over there. The Loan Shark is good. Shoot the Sheriff can kill Lazav. Murder can kill their Brigand here. I think I'm going to take the Desert's Dew. That way this can technically still block the Brigand unless they top deck a way to commit a crime here. I think they're just going to plot the Loan Shark though. That is a repeated way to commit a crime now, so I think I have to kill the Brigand. Because this is going to get way out of hand way quickly. It's a little off curve, but I think I just have to do this. And then they attack with this. I'm not blocking because it's going to be a 0-2. It can still block the Link Breaker. I don't think I want to trade 3 damage for an additional damage, though. So I'll just hold it back to block the Link Breaker as an 0-2. And next turn, I guess I play Medic, which still blocks the Splasher pretty well. And then hold up, shoot the Sheriff for Lazav. Or I just play this and hold up Shoot the Sheriff for Lazov. Do I attack with Raven? If I don't attack with Raven, they attack with Spring Splasher, do that, and then I can block with Raven. Do I care? Would I want to get rid of the Spring Splasher? Let's go ahead and attack. I think I'm going to be shooting down Lazov here. I assume they're going to play Lazov, then play Lone Shark. They do still get to draw a card. Can't do anything about that. It wasn't the worst draw in the world, because now I can actually play both of my creatures. And I guess I'll attack here. Alright, see what they got in hand now with 3 cards. Okay, got their own Raven. And then do they commit the crime? There's the crime. And the last card is a land. Fine by me. So I can commit the crime on them, ping them for 1, or do it to myself, in which case Lively Dirge becomes slightly better, but I mean I can sacrifice cards to make Lively Dirge just fine with the Desecrator here, so I think I'm just going to do it to them. Commit the crime. Get rid of a Stop Cold. I could trade this for Lone Shark here. I don't think that's great. I think I'm still going to sacrifice the medic on the end of their turn, but I don't think I need to do it right now. Okay, they got an instant they can play. Skullduggery could be good, but with the fact that they have an instant now, that makes it slightly worse. Like, I don't want to play into whatever this is, technically, so I'm just gonna pass until they, like, don't have priority into me playing a Skullduggery. I could always just kill their Vault Plunder or go for that, and if they try to, like, counter it or something, I mean... Alright, top deck war, and our cards are usually worse than theirs. Especially when you keep drawing all your lands. Double down, that will probably do it. I don't think we can outrace that thing. Whew. Got rid of that. That would have been a... Both of these would have been a huge problem for us. Do I go for Boneyard Desecrator? I mean... And then use Skullduggery, or is that just... I mean... I gotta start trying to outrace this thing at least a little bit. So I'll kill that. I guess I'll order it like this. Alright, what do you got? Got the murder? Pretty much. Alright. Alright, go ahead. Do your thing. Now I'm not sure we can win. I'll keep trying. It's not over, but I mean, I think it's not looking great from here, I'll tell you that. Yeah, this attack kind of makes sense, because now they're going to do it to this one. I can't double block the shark. I can still trade for the splasher. I think that that attack definitely did make sense, though. But we'll draw our 4th land in our last 5 draw steps here. And granted, they are too, so... As soon as they draw their first Outlaw, I mean, the game's pretty much over. We had the combo, but they disrupted it. Alright, we're both just... that could be pretty good with Kemball here if we can draw, like, Corrupted Conviction or something. I just think this all might be too little too late. I mean, if there's ever a better time to do it, it's gotta be now. Lively Dirge, Outlaw Medic. Unfortunately, they exiled the Desecrator, which would have been really good. I could Lively Dirge and get another Treasure Dredger and start draining them here. That seems pretty good. So let's get... I could try to kill their double down with Ruthless Lawbringer, but I think the double Treasure Dredger, it pings them every single turn here. Which would be really good. So let's do that. Go to combat, attack here. We can make another treasure with the pillage now. They're going to block, but I mean... Even if they do, we still get the treasure. Alright, they didn't block, so we get more triggers than here. 2 lands, that's fine. End of the turn, and start pinging. Alright, 2 Outlaws. Sure. Oh, that's a token. Oh, that's funny. Alright. Alright, do we have this? I think we might, with the treasure dredger going on here. I mean, we'll just keep drawing lands, obviously, but... Oh, wait, why do I get a copy? Oh, I get a... I also get a copy now, because they made a token. That's hilarious. Well, I can't commit a crime, so it doesn't do anything, but, okay, end the turn. I'll just keep drawing all my lands. Got 4 left in 12 cards here. Yeah, I mean, they're going to start drawing a good amount of cards. I mean, if they can draw removal in these top... What are they going to draw? 3 cards here? 2 cards? Then that will be an issue, because we did use the Lively Dirge. Yeah, these aren't blockable, right? Yeah. Alright, draw 2 cards. They've exhausted a lot of their lands as well. Let's see if they can remove Kambal here. I think that's one of our last outs to win this game, is through Kambal double treasure dredger. No. Come on. They did find the removal. Now what? These might kill them before we die, actually, because this is not a May. They have to draw the card. Now, I would also like to commit crimes and things, but never lucky. They have 3 blockers. We have 1, 2, a bunch of attackers. We're at 22. They have something they can do in their hand here. I can gain a bunch of life. They're at 7. I mean, let's try to end this here. This is 6. What else they got? Alright, they'll kill that. Sure. Alright, I mean, can we mill them out with Nimble Brigands here? Oh, God. Maybe not anymore. Well, they're at 5 cards. It's a weird game. I guess at this point we're on the mill plan in the hopes that we can just mill them out. Because I don't think we're getting through their board anymore. The Nimble Brigands can't really attack anymore. I guess they can. You know, it'd be a beat is if they had the card I keep saying is bad. The Time Twister variant. Jeez, maybe they can go wide enough here. Just give me a non-land here. Give me a creature or something I can play. Ruthless Lawbringer. Give me something. Yeah, it's got lifelink. Got a lot of lifelink in this deck. Still just don't know if it's enough. I don't think it's gonna be. I think they got us. I mean, they can't really attack with these two anymore. I've used both Bloodseekers and I've used Lively Dirge already, so I can't mill them anymore. I've used Fake Your Own Death. Fortunate Accident. What are you killing? I don't even know. Oh, the Raven. There's the Ruthless Lawbringer I wanted. I'm at 4. Oh, they're just gonna kill me now. Or mill me out. I have to hope they make a mistake and attack with both Nimble Brigands? I don't have another way to mill them in my library? So frustrating. They found the exact removal spell right off of the top 2 cards that they needed. Had they not found that removal spell, I think we would have won it. But if they don't, they didn't attack with anything. So they have a way to commit a crime and make me lose here is what it looks like. Perfect. So they're going to try to mill me out with the Deep Muck Desperado. Alright, I've got 3 cards. They just commit a crime. Let's see if they mess up or not. I don't know. I don't think they will. Very good for them. Yeah, that was frustrating. I mean, the perfect top deck, and then just got it from there. I mean, I think if it was one more turn with Kambal and the double dredgers there, I think we would have won. But I think the first try at a black-white deck is relatively successful. We just drew like, I think that was like a sequence in the middle there. We drew 6 lands and 7 draws or something like that. Today's draws have just been very, 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 very daily draft for those of you that haven't been here for a while. But I'll take a 4-3. That's basically what I get in every single draft in this format is like a 4-3. I'll stick here in Platinum 3 and never move. So it is what it is. 4 more drafts of the format left. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.